Hey everyone, and welcome back. So I think I might have found the event I want to complete and the divine I want to go for on here, and this will include spoilers of future events. So if you're kind of looking for an event that you want to complete in the future yourself, then I'll be talking about two of the upcoming events in this video. Now, in my Profitable Wanderers video, I mentioned that you can find out about future events by going to the spoiler forum. And because of the typical schedule of when the test servers open, we're usually aware of at least two upcoming events in advance. For instance, right now we know details of the next event, which is the celebration. And that's just basically the Halloween trick-or-treat events, but it's just with a different theme. So if you're familiar with the Halloween trick-or-treat event, that's what's going to be coming up next. It just has a different theme on it. We have the details on this one as the English test server opened a few weeks back, so we pretty much know all the details you could possibly know about the event really for that one. Just last week, which was the last week for the cards event, the French test server opened, so we started getting trickles of information about the divine and what event that will be in, and that some of this is in the international spoiler forum right here and a couple spoiler forums on some of the other servers as well. Now, how I use all this information is that we got the details of the next event, the celebration right here a few weeks back, right? And that includes how luck-based the event might be, the possible pass estimates, what item the special offer will require, such as will it only require passes and diamonds. Like in the cards event, you had to spend either passes or diamonds, but in some other events like the pinatas, you could stock up Horns of Plenty and possibly just finish it with Horns of Plenty alone. Or you could even use like Themis' scales combined with another item that you could trade with in order to get hops. Now, I passed up the celebration with this event here because I didn't really like the divine that much anyway. I didn't think it would be that useful, but for the most part, it's just because I knew I wouldn't have enough passes ready anyway. So I kept an eye on the French spoiler forum last week, and they started posting info on the divine in the event. And the only issue with going off from just what's coming in from the French server is that you're kind of going off of translators, and you don't know if all the information is completely accurate. Like, for example, this was put through Google Translate, so it's not like this says cornucopias, that means horn of plenty, and you don't know if all this is like completely 100% accurate, but it does at least give you a bit of an idea on what the divine is, what the event is, especially if it's an event that you've been through before. You kind of already have a general idea, and you might immediately look at that and you're like, oh, it's X event. I know that I immediately want to do that because I've gone through it in the past and I like it. It's strategic and whatever. You know how a good idea of how many passes you could probably spend for it. Now, the event that I'm thinking about going for is actually, surprise, the Great Challenge. And this is going to be for a few reasons. But first, for those who haven't been through a Great Challenge, what happens is that you complete objectives daily throughout the Great Challenge and you'll win prizes for it. You won't get those prizes until after the Great Challenge. Now, during the Great Challenge, VIPs can open a specific luck item and they can possibly find the divine during the Great Challenge. Otherwise, if you're a VIP and you want to wait until after the Great Challenge, or for non-VIPs who will have to wait until after the Great Challenge, you can win the divine during what is normally the lottery afterwards, and I'll get to the lottery in just a minute. The good thing about just waiting in general, whether you're a VIP or if you're a non-VIP and you have to wait anyway, the good thing about waiting is that depending on how many horseshoes you collect from doing objectives during the Great Challenge, you'll be getting really good special offers when you open those luck items during the lottery. And for example, like the best offer you could get is the one that's normally buy or open two, rather, you open two luck items and then the third one you open, you get that for free. That'd be the best offer, and that's really good. So you'd only have to open, say, like 2 golden fleeces and then you can get the third one free. It's just a good offer, especially if it takes you like loads of luck items that you have to open in order to find the divine. And in past Great Challenges, lotteries, if you did wait until the lottery to start opening luck items, when you keep opening them and if you don't find the divine, eventually the divine will be put in reserved sales for you. And then the more luck items you keep opening, and if you don't find the divine, then the amount that divine can be bought for in the reserve sales, the price will go down. Like, for example, that was how I got Lug. Where do I have that? That was how I got Lug in the Golden Fleeces back in February 2017 during the lottery. I ended up spending, it looks like I wrote here that after 8 fleeces opened, then he he appeared in the reserve sales. I kept opening fleeces and I never won him in the fleeces, so I ended up buying him for 5 passes, which was the lowest it would go for. And then my total spending for that came out to 13 passes, 80 diamonds, and 2 staffs. So it wasn't too awful, I guess. I don't know. Now, the reason why I'm thinking of trying for this particular great challenge is that if we look at this, it looks like cornucopias, which are Horn of Plenties. Horn of Plenty should be the luck item for this one. And right now I have got 11 Horns of Plenty in my inventory alone, just all from Xanthos. So hopefully I'll end up winning some more Horns of Plenty from him as we get closer to the event, or else I can try to exchange for some in the exchanges or something. But also in terms of passes, I have 8 passes total right now, and I had 1 pass come in last night. Was that last night? Yes, because my Tiki Unicorn that I blupped and I put in the sales, that did sell for a pass last night. So that's where this 8th pass came from. And then I still have another 8 passes I can win from pass horses this month because I've sent 2, so I still have another 8 guaranteed passes left I can win. And this event should probably occur in July as long as the schedule holds, which that'll give me 10 guaranteed passes from pass horses next month that I can win. So if you just take all those numbers alone, I'll have, just with what I have right now and what I know guaranteed will be incoming, I'll have 11 Horns of Plenty and 26 passes that I can spend on the event, which is pretty good. And if I get really lucky and I can open up Horns of Plenty and find that divine in Horns of Plenty, then that'll just be only hops from my inventory that will come from. Now back to the lottery. The only thing I'm not sure of on this event is that instead of the usual lottery that occurs after the Great Challenge, we're getting something different this time, and they're gonna be like switching out the lottery and this new thing that instead of the lottery, it's called the Derby, and it's supposed to be like those roll the ball and the whole games that you see at carnivals. You kind of like, there's like the long table and you roll the ball upwards and there's like several little pockets that you have to get the ball in, and then when you land it in like certain pockets or something, then like the little horse on the board will like start moving really fast. And you could probably look that up on Google if you like type in like roll the ball or something. You should be able to find pictures on Google and videos and stuff that show how that works. But it kind of sounds like, if you read through the rest of the description, it sounds like it's like a luck-based event. It's not going to be like an actual flash game or a mini game or something. I assume, just from reading this, I'm not quite sure. So it sounds like it'll still be a lottery. It's just has like a new face on it and a new spin, but it's not going to be like an actual mini game, I assume right now with with the information that we have. But we'll have to wait for more info on that just to be sure what we're going to be dealing with here. Now, the divine in this event will be another plant divine, and his name is Caryopsis. And from his description, it doesn't sound too bad. It's basically that the skills increase when you give it manure. And then let's see, when it reaches 80 skill points, it can be pruned. Her skills are then reset to 0, but she offers you 1 pass seed. And one of the estimates that was given on the French server was that basically it'll take around 2 months to gain the 25 pass seeds, which is basically, I'm just going to call it like 1 set of pass seeds because you need 25 to plant in order to get your pass. So it'll be 2 months until you can actually plant your pass, and then you'll have to wait another month for that pass to grow, which is like 3 months to wait for a pass, but it is an actual pass that you can use and not an item. So I don't think that's too bad, and a lot of that will just depend on how much it'll cost in order to get this divine. If you can get that divine just by spending opening hops alone, then I mean that divine's totally worth it to me, especially because those hops will all come from inventory. So this is definitely an event that I kind of want to keep my eye on, and I'm going to be saving my Horns of Plenty for. It's not exactly the strategic event I had in mind to complete when I was planning on starting the series, but it sounds doable, so I'm looking at it right now. And not to mention, before the Great Challenge starts, we will end up hearing some more info about the next event that will come after that. So I might end up changing my mind. We should find out about the event after the Great Challenge a week before the Great Challenge starts. So you never know. I could end up changing my mind. And another issue that I might run into is that I won't be able to be on the game that much through July 30th through August 6th, I think it is. And I'd like to be able to record this daily during like whatever event I plan on completing. So if Horse for some reason changes up the schedule and the lottery or when I'd be trying for the divine will run into that week when I won't be able to log in, then that will also affect whether I'm trying for Caryopsis or not. But so far, my tentative plan is to open hops during the Derby to get the divine horse Caryopsis. Testing on International for it should open this week. So once I get access to the test server, I'll have more info, hopefully, and I can find out a little bit more on what's really going to be going on with this. And if you actually want to read kind of about these events that I'm talking about here, I'll put links to these posts in the description below this. So if you want to actually read the information on these upcoming events, then I'll include the links to it in the description. But otherwise, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.